Everyone, let's try a new angle. I'm starting a weekend vlog. It's Friday morning and I'm not working today because I'm very bad at taking days and time off for myself, but I'm donating blood plates today and I never cancel those appointments, so I have the day off work. I might work a little bit tomorrow on Saturday depending on how I feel, and then on Sunday I'm going to my mother's place, meet with my family and have some lunch. And so I'm not working on Sunday as well. That means I'm hopefully getting a lot of reading done. I started the day already with editing and uploading my October wrap-up, so that's a check. I had breakfast and I'm about to head out to the hospital to donate the blood plates. And after that, I'm hoping to spend some time in the city. Let's hope I'll make some footage, or I'll take some footage and have something to show you afterwards. What I'm reading mostly and hopefully a lot of this weekend will be Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I'm about 40% in and have probably 300 pages left. It's an ambitious goal to have 300 pages read on a weekend, especially when I'm thinking about working tomorrow. But we'll see, because I am enjoying it and I kind of want to talk a little bit about it, but don't really want to put up a review once I'm finished. So a weekend vlog is the best thing to do. And yeah, that's about it. I'll talk to you later. And I'm back home, feeling a little bit dizzy, and I hope we can finish talking before the daylight is gone. Donating blood was shorter than expected because the needle kept getting stuck to the walls of my veins, and then the pressure on the blood vessels is too high or something. I don't understand it. They said we need to take less than usual and you can go home early, and I was like, okay, whatever. And so I went into town. I got some very, very tasty lunch and sat down and read a little bit. Tell you more about that in a few minutes or seconds, who knows. But I also want to show you what I bought, because I stopped at a stationery store and got myself a new calendar for 2023 already, because I'm very excited about 2023, or rather for 2022 to end and this miserable year to be over. I had a calendar from this company before. I think it's called Heft or something. Heft, yes. And I really like the look. It's A5. I really like the size, but it also has what I like in a calendar, because it's a very good combination of having an overview for the month on one side and space for notes on the other. And then we also have the weekly pages with the days on the left side and then notes again for on the right side. And I really enjoyed that, because I am always amazed and impressed by all the bullet journaling everybody's doing, but I'm not good at putting up the weekly spreads or monthly spreads. So this is a combination of that works for me, or worked for me really well this year, where I could always have weekly goals, monthly goals, and keep track of things a little bit. I'm not sure how much I want to track next year, but this setup really worked well for me. Another thing I want to show you before we talk about Elantris is a package. I came home to a book package, and yes, I would have liked to buy this from a local store, but I ordered it weeks ago and it still hasn't showed. And so I looked the book up on Amazon and had it ordered for half the price. Yes, I really like the cover. I forgot all about what it's about. I'm sorry, I cannot tell you. I think I heard Jack Edwards talk about it. Jack Edwards. I don't even know what his channel name is, but I really like watching him. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Elantris. I really want to talk about this book a little bit, but I honestly don't want to invite all the Brandon Sanderson fans to come at me, because I don't really know what they think about the book. I'm not in the loop, let's be honest. And with me wanting to talk about this book, it might be a little bit spoilery. Of course, that depends on what you consider spoilers, but I'm going to talk more about content than I usually do. I'm at the moment on 260 something pages in, which is about halfway through of the 550 page book roundabout. And so far, we're following three main narrations, or three main characters, and see things through their perspective. Elantris is the name of a city where magical godlike creatures used to live, but now that's past, and now the people that are chosen by this ritual or random effect that turns someone into an Elantrian has turned them, instead of godly figures, into deadly wasted creatures, sort of. I'm not going to say any names because that's going to be horribly wrong, because I have no idea how to pronounce any of those things. So the city of Elantris is in the middle of a country, and this country is ruled by a new king that came around after the fall of the godlike creatures. And it's very businesslike. The king used to be a merchant, and he still is a merchant, and nobility is gained through money and wealth, and there's a lot of exploitation of the peasants, and money is very important, and status. The son of the king is one of the characters we follow, and unfortunately we start off by him waking up and discovering that he has been chosen to become an Elantrian, which is not very good, because now he's thrown into the city where everything is locked up. And one part of being an Elantrian is that whatever pain or physical pain you feel, it doesn't go away. So if you stub your toe, you can feel your toe forever hurting. So that's a struggle. There's also the problem of being hungry, and no one feeds the Elantrians. So it's a very violent, uncivilized city that this place has become. And we follow the prince, how he's going into this city pretty unaware of what to expect, and meeting people and running away from violent people, and then starting to turn things around a bit, because he seems very optimistic and a good leader, that he thinks we need a purpose, we need to do something, and we can work together. At the moment they're trying to grow food so that they're independent and that they're not ruled by their hunger to do things and commit violent crimes. And they're also cleaning the town so that everything looks nicer again. And it's very interesting to see how he's trying to build a civilization, to build community and keep the peace and stop people from hurting each other. And I'm not really sure where that is all going, but it looks very optimistic at the moment, at a way of how society could be. Another character we're following is a princess from a neighboring country who was on their way to marry the prince. Unfortunately, they never met, because the day she got there, he was already dead. And due to this strange marriage contract they have, now they're married despite not having been married before. And now she's the princess and the new daughter of the king in the country where she's at now, and trying to deal with it. One part of her wanting to get married to the prince was a political alliance and protection, so that these two countries, who are the only countries apparently in the world, maybe, that are not following a certain religion, and this religion is taking over all the countries, and it's trying to find a foothold in the country that the princess is in now, and also into her home country. So that was the idea why she wanted to get married to this prince. And now she's in this new country where women are less respected and less independent than in her home country. She realizes that no one takes her serious, but she's slowly trying to gain footage and to gain hold on where she is and understand the society. And following her around is rather interesting. I always expected Sanderson to write bad women. So far, I haven't really seen that. Yes, he uses a lot of stereotypes to describe some of the characters and female characters, but also it feels rather feminist at the moment. I don't know if that's going to stick, but a lot of things that he criticizes in the country is how women are treated and how they're not respected and how they're not part of things. And I'm not sure if it's completely all the way, but so far I'm actually enjoying that, and I'm also enjoying how witty the character is in herself and the concepts and ideas she has on her political game and trying to gain power. The third perspective we're following is a religious leader that came to the country to convert everyone and take over the country for his religious leader in whatever the home country of that religion is. And it's very fascinating to follow this character because he tells us what he wants to do and he tells us how he wants to do it. Basically, he's trying to take over the country without starting a revolution that kills everyone, because that's what he did in another country half a year ago, and he's kind of having bad feelings about that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And now he's trying a different way and trying to manipulate everyone into following the religion and then converting and then taking over the country peacefully. And his main way of doing that is creating hate for the Elantrians and trying to use that hatred to put it onto the king and onto the religion that they have so that they convert to the other religion. And what I really find fascinating so far about this book is how political it is, how it feels like a guidebook or really telling you what is going on when someone is using some fanatics and religious talk to manipulate you. And because we see it through the priest's perspective, we see his workings behind that, the things he doesn't believe in or the things he believes in, and also the things he does for what purpose. I find that very fascinating and very interesting to read. Unfortunately, I'm lacking a little bit of magic and escapism fantasy that I was looking for, but so far this whole novel is very fascinating and captivating despite nothing much happening. It's very slow going. Like I said, I'm about halfway through and we're barely starting at the political games starting to affect and to really see where each of those characters wants to go. I have some ideas what I think might happen. Probably it won't happen, who knows, but I'm really fascinated by the detailed look at political systems. I did not expect that. So I'm starting to think I had the completely wrong idea of what Sanderson books are about and his writing. There's one thing I have to mention though. I recently heard someone again mentioning Sanderson's ableistic writing and that being a reason why they didn't want to read about him or didn't want to pick up books by him. And there is something to it. It's not something that bothers me obviously or overly at the moment in this book, but there is sometimes when he describes characters, the words he uses or how he describes them. Just for the princess as well, she's always described as very tall and she's taller as everyone. And intelligence sounds like a negative effect mostly, especially in her home country and also in this country, that it doesn't make her an attractive woman. There's also another character who has a birthmark and it's always described what it does. A lot of times. There's also been another character that was described as diminutive. And for some reason that word, I was like, could you use another different word? Could you have said that differently? But on the other side, I'm sometimes on the verge where I'm not really sure, is that really ableist or is it negative or is it just how we talk and we talk wrong? I'm not really sure. But those are some things that I noticed, but they haven't really put me off reading so far. So I don't know. I really don't know anything about Sanderson, let's be honest. I'm not following his channel or any of his other outlets. I'm not really interested in the person as a person. I'm just curious about the books right now. And so let's see. And it's Sunday morning. I didn't really do much yesterday. I was so out of it. I spent most of my day reading, which is really nice because that way I almost managed to finish Elantris. I have about 60 pages left. And I must say, at some point I felt the political talk getting boring and all the intrigue and manipulation and where they wanted to go. And then everything changed. It didn't change away from the political talk, but everything they had planned didn't work out and things needed to be changed and the people started to interact, the perspectives got connected more and more, and I'm really enjoying myself. There's not a lot of fantasy that I was imagining to get from Brandon Sanderson. There's not a lot of magic in there at all. There's a little tiny bit of magic there, but mostly it's just a police thriller. I never read those, so I have no idea. But it's all about building in communities and taking over a country and religion and all of that talk. And it's rather fascinating. I'm surprised. I'm curious to see how it will end. I will not tell you that. I'm probably ending the vlog here. I'm going to my parents for the rest of the day. So I will be on a train about 3 hours and I have about 3 hours left to read. And I'm getting to the end today. I'm surprised by that. The weekend I had many plans that I didn't expect to manage, but I did, and it feels rather nice to actually accomplish what I set out to do. So ending the vlog here so I can edit it before I can leave to my parents. And one more thing about Brandon Sanderson's writing. I really enjoy the book, but I tend to get annoyed by the descriptions he's using. But then again, I don't see that they're so different from other people that doesn't make it good or bad. It's just that he's very focused on looks when he's describing people. So I don't know if that is something that will be increased into ableism in future works or not. It's just something that I heard and something I probably subconsciously put down under I don't really care about his writing or his work. So curious to see where that will go. I will read something else next. First, before I pick up some more Sanderson, but overall this experiment has been a success. I enjoy a Brandon Sanderson book and his writing, and so we'll probably read more by him. Yay, big fantasy series to look forward to. I don't know. Anyways, thank you all for watching, for sticking with me and hanging around this weekend. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Let me know in comments what you did, what you've read. If you've read Elantris, Brandon Sanderson, let's just talk about things. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.